don't really fear Bigfoot in the waking hours. To me, Bigfoot is probably some type of highly intelligent hominid. I get the sense that Bigfoot is a peaceful creature and does not want to come in contact with us. I know the Native Americans revere Bigfoot quite a bit. They feel that he's a spirit form or a man of the woods, depending on the interpretation, and that he's simply to be left alone. And there's really not a lot of evidence that they would ever be hostile towards us. I think they basically want to avoid us much more than we want to avoid them. But of course, the dream state is a completely different world. And in my dreams, it's a game of cat and mouse. I'm stalking Bigfoot, and Bigfoot's stalking me, I guess, in a sense. So it's really amazing that I don't actually have more nightmares than I do, considering how I spend my waking hours. But I don't know. I hope I would never be put in a situation where I would actually have to protect myself, or to make the trophy shot to prove that it's real. But it's just a part of the process, I guess. Someone's got to be out here looking. That might have been a canid. Did you hear that owl?
Yeah. I thought I saw some too. Right between these two trees? Yeah. Way back there? Yeah. I think I did too.
Cryptozoology in the truest sense of the word is it's a doctrine, but it's modeled after scientific methodology. And science was designed to be an objective approach to research, where you have a very balanced and open mind. That's kind of the way I've always seen it. In science, you have a theory, and the theory is based on the data that's collected and measured in a controlled environment. A lot of cryptozoologists, there's kind of an emotional attachment to the subject matter. Because when you're talking about things like Bigfoot, things like we're out here investigating now that have almost a legendary tinge to them, it strikes on a nerve that we have as humans. But from a scientific point of view, I think that you actually have to be willing to debunk and reject things that don't fit into the accepted theory or into, common sense. So, for example, if I was an overzealous researcher and we were looking at these eyes peering at us from over on this bluff, the fact that I've spent the weekend to come out here and all this time and resources and so forth, I would, essentially I would want that to be what we're looking for. Oh, that's a blue dog. There it is. But if I step back and look at the big picture, there's a much greater likelihood that that's an animal that's going to be extremely common, much more common than a blue dog, something like a possum. I think in the Bigfoot field, and I have a lot of friends who are serious Bigfoot researchers, and many of them actually have had very close sightings or encounters, at a time in their life when they didn't even believe in Bigfoot or didn't know about Bigfoot, but it changed their life dramatically, because it was such a life-changing experience to have something like that step out of the realm of folklore and suddenly be right there staring you in the face. So I can understand the type of impact that has on somebody. So I know people that are obsessed with Bigfoot research. It's their whole life, and the desire to prove it is so intense, and that overrides the scientific objectivity of what you're trying to do, because at that point it becomes a personal and emotional issue rather than an objective scientific endeavor. But I'll tell you one thing, I sure as hell want to know what that little animal is on the other side of the river that keeps peeking its head over looking at us. It's driving me crazy, because it knows we're here and it keeps watching us, As with other things in life, something like this, it's really not about the destination as much as the journey sometimes. So just to be out here and experiencing this moment right now, it's pretty badass, I think. It was the Loch-Ness Monster. I saw it. place like this where we're at a disadvantage because it's so dark and we can't really see. It's important as trackers to rely on our other senses, which of course are hearing and smell. My hearing's not so great anymore, but occasionally I can detect something in the distance. And
Did you hear that? Yeah, I did.
Like a howl.
I heard it too.
To me, the scariest thing on the planet is a human being. I'm not afraid of Bigfoot or monsters or chupacabras, but I am afraid of humans and what they can do. I grew up in Lake Jackson, Texas, which is a very swampy, marshy type of area. And of course we had a lot of snakes on our property, but I had this recurring dream that it's after a flood, this torrential downfall, and the entire yard is pretty much underwater, which actually happened a couple of times. And in my dream there's an enormous snake swimming through the yard through this shallow water. It's like an anaconda or something. Of course in the dream I'm not wanting to go outside and confront this enormous snake that's slithering through the water. It reminds me a lot of my mother, who passed away when I was very young, and it's kind of a big inspiration on what to do now. So I don't know, it's weird how dreams seem to, it's like they dwell sometimes just on the very edge of your unconscious mind and you forget all about them, but you know, sometimes in the waking hours they resurface like that and they bring back that whole flood of emotions. I do have dreams about Bigfoot too, about being tracked or hunted by Bigfoot, which I guess is a turning of the tables. You know, we were talking about monsters in our dreams, and I guess that's one monster that I'm constantly confronting, is that giant snake. Yeah, it's, just thinking about it now, it kind of stirs up a lot of different types of emotions, because of course it takes me back to my childhood. What's up?
Two sets of eyes in there.
Up high?
In the brush.
Really?
Yeah, and it kind of, once I shined it, it kind of just disappeared. I saw him, he moved right over here. It looked like he was coming towards this way, and then he saw me, and I finally shined the light at him, and he kind of ran off. It just blinked. Yeah, there it goes. It just went under.
Moving it up, it's right there. Spread out. Over there?
I see them. Something's bothering us now.
Seeing something over this way now. Don't shine a light.
Was I the only one who heard it growl? I heard it growl.
Shoot, you called last again. See a little black shape in between that tree. Could be one of them. just saw the most compelling thing that I've seen since I've been out here in terms of the kind of thing we're looking for. Two small little stealthy animals kind of running very low to the ground. They were very dark in my night vision, so I really couldn't tell what color they were. They seemed to move with a kind of a quick hopping, but not a rabbit-like, but more like a cat or some type of small carnivore type of motion. I saw one of them move. It was definitely a predator or a carnivore, something slinking low to the ground. It looked, oh, there goes the other one. It's kind of bounding. Now they're running over here behind this tree, straight over here. See a little shape. Two little shapes. What are those?
Sets of eyes, pretty low to the ground. Very similar to the blue dog. Up there it is. They're together now.
But you know, this is cool because this is encouraging. Spend hours walking through and really experiencing nothing, and then suddenly to have two animals that kind of fit the profile of what we're looking for, and to hear all these vocalizations from the cattle as if they're in distress is kind of, you know, it's kind of interesting. All right, day 3, trap 1. This is our last shot here to hopefully to have captured one of these blue dog animals. I don't really see anything in there right now, but we're a good distance away. We got to hike across this field, so fingers crossed. Let's go take a look. We got something. These doors are open still. Well, here we are at our main trap, trap 1. This is day 3 of the Chupacabra roundup expedition. As you can see, unfortunately, the doors are still open, which is not a good thing. That means we did not catch our quarry. You know, a little discouraged, I have to admit, but you know, as I mentioned, it's a numbers game. But anyways, so that I guess that wraps up the Texas Chupacabra roundup, at least round 1. Maybe we can come out here and do this again. This is a great location. Had a lot of fun, some good camaraderie. Really saw a lot of wildlife. I think that was kind of fun and fulfilling. We still don't know why there's such a high concentration of these Chupacabras / blue dogs in this particular location. Although we can now speculate that there could be honestly rather diabolical and very sad reasons for their presence here. So probably going to elaborate on that at a later date. But you know, this is one of the hot spots for these strange and mysterious animals that we've yet to identify conclusively and scientifically identify. So what we have is a bona fide natural mystery, and you know, something that we're going to continue to pursue. I'm hesitant to say that there's been a crowning moment or a crowning achievement, because to me that sort of puts an expiration date on what I do. As far as I'm concerned, the adventure is just beginning at this point. I've very active in the field of cryptozoology for about 10 years now. Although it's been a lifelong obsession and passion of mine, it really took me into my adult years to dedicate myself to this pursuit. So, I'd like to think that I have contributed to the field positively, that I have brought certain things, certain events to light that needed to be brought to light. Just being out here in this area where there have been many, many reports of a mysterious animal, to have an opportunity to track that animal, and moreover to commune with nature, and just to be out here and track and hunt as humans have for thousands of years, to me is very exciting. So, that's why I love this.